once we convinced the bar owners to stop cashing checks and to direct their customers to the ATM, we increased their volume. So now I remember the first time that I got into the ATM business. This was about 25 years ago, and I saw an ATM. I talked to a friend of mine because I didn't know how to buy an ATM. He was an amusement distributor, sold amusement games. And I talked to him into buying an ATM. I saw a magazine. I told him to reach out to this company because you had to be somebody specific to buy an ATM. I convinced him to buy and invest in the ATM business. He bought a bunch of ATMs, and then what I did is I bought the ATMs from him. We started to put them out. Then I got the ATM, but guess what? I needed a processor. I didn't know that. So he helped me find what we call a processor, an ISO, and we started boarding the terminals. So I actually got him to invest in the ATMs and then got him to find me an ISO, and then we started putting out the ATMs. Guess what? Those ATMs back then, they were big ATMs and they were heavy and they cost about $8,000. So finally got it rolling. We put the ATM out. And guess what? We were only charging $1 at the time. Location at the time, they didn't want any money, so that was a good thing. And we ended up doing about 40 transactions a month on $1. Not a good return on investment. And that is one of the ways I started in the ATM business. One of the lessons that I learned was from doing all this is it wasn't enough just to have a location. You needed to find good locations, volume locations. But I didn't know. I thought every location was going to be a home run. So the next ATM we put out, we decided, well, is there a lot of people looking to get money? What is the hooks? Back in those days, we were putting ATMs in bars and restaurants only. But what I found out is the bars, they were cashing checks all the time. So once we convinced the bar owners to stop cashing checks and to direct their customers to the ATMs, we increased their volume. We went from 40 transactions a month up to 200 transactions a month. And we also increased our surcharge from $1, we went to $2. So now I was doing about $400 a month and starting to make money in the ATM business. So back then I was buying what they call a TBS ATM. And I found out that there was other manufacturers. There was a company called Tidal. There was a company called Triton. And there was a company called Tranex, which Nautilus Shosung actually made the ATM, but Tranex stamped their name on it. But Tranex was the brand of choice. So you had those three units and this TBS unit. TBS actually then later became WRG, but we started with those manufacturers. I changed my manufacturer. I was able to, instead of buying it for $8,000, we got it down to $6,000. And when $6,000, we said, oh, we can get a better return on investment. And we also were able to increase the surcharge from $1 to $2. Big takeaway from all that experience, and that what I told you, it took years to understand the information. Right now, the game is sped up real fast. You guys have access to a lot of information that we never had early on. Of course, it's 25 years ago because people didn't talk about the ATM business. We didn't have YouTube back then. There wasn't the communication. We didn't have cell phones back then. Maybe the internet was just starting, but we didn't have all the access to information like you guys got right now. But one of the takeaways is always get more information. It makes your life a lot easier.